Pokemon is releasing a World Championship caliber level deck in Walmarts, Targets, and local game stores to you for just $29.99, and it is the Charizard EX Pokemon League Battle Deck. Now this deck comes with 60 cards that are battle ready, tournament ready for you to play, but today in this video I'm going to teach you how to upgrade this $29.99 value deck into something that you can take to a competitive tournament, and even some of the best in the world played to the World Championships. My name is Rahul Reddy, and today we're going to be looking at some of the most affordable products in the Pokemon TCG, the Charizard EX League Battle Deck. So let's jump right into it. Pokemon released a Charizard EX Pidgeot League Battle Deck in their installment of League Battle Decks that release, I think, once a calendar year. And you can see here that it already has copies of Pidgeot EX and Charizard EX, some of these staple cards in this upcoming deck. And you can see the full set list here. 60 card deck with a ready to play deck, 6 damage counters dice for your tournament conditions, coin flip for the tournament as well, coin condition markers, a deck box, an accessory box, and a strategy sheet, as well as a code card to put this entire deck online. So you're getting the value of 2 decks, one in person and one online. Now the deck is listed here. I'm not going to go through every single card, but you can see that there is a full grip of Charizard, a full grip of Pidgeot EX, 2 of the most staple cards in the standard format right now that are very powerful in their own right and have been dominating since the day they were released. A ton of very usable supporters like Iono, Arven, Boss, Research that go into pretty much every standard legal deck, including Buddy Buddy, Poffin, and Ultra Ball. And the most important thing here is this Prime Catcher, this copy of Prime Catcher and A-Spec that's being given to you. A-Specs are a one-of card that can be put into any Pokemon standard legal deck, but the caveat is, like I said earlier, only one of them can be put into your deck. So you have to choose very carefully between the options given to us, and Prime Catcher is one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful option. Now, you might be thinking, well, if this deck is $29.99, how much can Prime Catcher actually be? Well, pulling it up for you guys right now. Prime Catcher is sitting at about $25 US because it is going up into a lot of decks right now, and it is getting a lot of versatility and use in everything it does. So this card is just becoming better and better by the day. So this $29.99 deck gives you a $25 card. Like, make that math make sense, you know? So today I want to show you guys the Pokemon World Championships that just concluded, show you 3 of the best performing decks, the best performing Charizard decks, let me say that again, and compare the 2 lists and see how you can upgrade that and what the cost efficiency would be. So the Pokemon World Championships just wrapped up in Honolulu, Hawaii. You can see that the highest placing Charizard was the best player in the world, Tor Reklev, 4-time international champion, multiple-time regional champion, and he's placed 2nd place and top 4 at the World Championships in the last 5 years. Tor finished 10th with an incredible Charizard list, and that's going to be one of the lists we feature, as well as Hayato Suzuki, a player from Japan, touting another Charizard list, and Pedro Pertusi, a young stallion from the Latin America region, one of the best players in Brazil, and has had one of the most consistent track records in his Masters showing in his first 2 years. So let's take a look at Tord's Charizard list. Now this is a little bit unique because Tord is known to be a little bit of a master chef. He cooks a little bit in the kitchen, and his cards can sometimes be a little bit too big brained for everyone involved, including myself. But even looking at his big brain deck, you can already see off the rip that Charizards are about $5 a piece, Pidgeots are about $9 a piece, and, well, those cards are already given to us. But I know you're looking at some of the stuff that we don't have, like what is this Radiant Charizard card, and why is it $5? What is this Luminion card, and why is it $3? What is this unpronounceable bird that no one can ever seem to get right? $10. Well, do we need all these cards? The answer is probably, but you don't necessarily need some of these because they will be rotating upcoming soon in the upcoming rotation when we move to the G block onwards and the F block rotates. But for the time being, these cards are very good, and rotation doesn't happen until April. So for the next 8 months, if you want to play with a handicap, you can, but dropping about $20 to pick up everything you need doesn't seem like a bad deal. You can see here the 2 lists are compared. Our deck list battle A is on the left here with the Prime Catcher, the Charizard, the extra copies that aren't actually overlapped. But you can already see that 36 cards are overlapped with a World Championship deck. That's pretty absurd. And out of the remaining cards, the Fezandipity is about a $10 card, the Luminion is about a $3, the Radiant Charizard is about a $5. But if you look at everything else, the Rabska 4 cents, Relor 5 cents, Cleffa 24 cents, Squovit 10 cents, like, basically you can pick up everything else you're missing for $1 or $2. Thornton. The only other caveat here is that the Tor chose to use a different A-Spec in the form of Unfair Stamp, which is a $5 card. So you can kind of sub out your A-Spec for that one if you choose to go that route. But All in all, if you drop about $25, you can upgrade your deck that you just bought at a Walmart, a Target, your local card store, you just got for Christmas. This deck can become a tier 1 competitive deck that someone took to 10th place in the Pokemon World Championships. How insane is that? So that's one iteration. The second iteration I want to talk about is Hayato Suzuki's Japanese list that kind of focused around using a little bit more intriguing cards like Dusclops, Dusknoir, the Radiant Charizard, and the Rotom, and the Lumineon becoming staples across the board here, as well as your Pheasantipity guy. So, this $20 package seems to be pretty standard in every list, so you should grab that while you can. But you can see, again, 36 cards are overlap, and Hayato has some of the more intriguing cards like this Dusknoir line that, couple of pennies here, the $10, $3 card here, a couple of supporters also to kind of bolster his support setup, and Hayato also choose to use a different A-Spec in the Hero's Cape, and most of the A-Specs that aren't named Prime Catcher kind of settle around the $5 mark, it seems like. So this is another way to upgrade your deck, and with the versatility of Charizard, you can already see that this deck, the shell that's being given to you from the League Battle deck, can be expanded in so many different ways, and you can use so many different A-Specs and change your gameplay in any way you like. So Hayato used this strategy of using Dusknoir and setting up their board. For, another $25, $30, you can also play what one of the top 32 finishers played to the World Championships. And keep in mind, these players won thousands of dollars and finished at these amazing placements in the world. Like 10th place, 21st place in the world. Next up, and finally, for the list comparisons, we have Pedro Pertusi, who finished 28th, one of the up-and-coming players from the Brazil region. He is probably one of the best, and he has some of the most cool conclusions here with the Dusknoir line, the Radiant Charizard, Rotom, Lumineon, Pheasantipity package. These are the support Pokemon that kind of keep the engine going. Some cool attackers like NTV, about $1. And then you can see that Pedro also opted to use the Prime Catcher. So this has got to be the one that's most similar to our list here. So let's take a look. And I was right, 38 cards do overlap here, but the most intriguing ones is obviously the support package and some of the Pokemon, and it looks like the supporter choices are a little bit different for all the lists. We have a lot more Ionos in our list, but every other list plays 2 more copies of Arven. And now Arven is a $2 card in general, but Arven is a staple in these Charizard setup decks that can help bolster your setup and just kind of make for a better deck. So you can see how close you can get to these tier 1 Pokemon World Championship decks for just $30 to upgrade your already $30 deck, so just double your investment. You can go to a regional and international, even the World Championships, and you'll have a tournament-ready deck to compete with the best of the best. Now, you might be thinking, doesn't Pokemon have rotation? Don't cards get worse? Well, in the future, there are more and more Terra cards being introduced, like Briar in our upcoming set, that even make Charizard better. You can only play this card if you have 2 prize cards remaining. But if your Pokemon is a Terra Pokemon, you take an extra prize card. Our good friend Charizard just happens to be a Terra Pokemon. He's got the Terra stamp, he's got the Terra ability. This Charizard is a jack of all trades. So as more Terra support continues to get printed for cards like Charizard, this card can only become better in the future. And I think until the day it rotates, it'll be one of the best decks in the format. So what are you waiting for? You can pick up a League Battle deck at any of your local Walmarts, Targets, or card stores coming up this November 15th. So keep that date in mind if you guys enjoyed this video and want to see more of upgrading League Battle decks or things of that nature. Please like and subscribe and let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed this kind of content. It's my first time doing it. Hopefully this was informative and or helpful. Thank you so much. Peace out.